Hi everyone. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my session that I had yesterday with Alba Weinman and explain how a story or past life or whatever it is you go through can relate to a current life issue. So one of my main questions, actually a lot of my questions, were associated with this blue house that I grew up in. And one of the things is that I dream about it all the time. Probably 75% of my dreams are played out in this blue house. It's not necessarily about the blue house, it's just that they're played out there, or they end up there. I even started keeping a journal to see how much I dream about this blue house, how much it comes up, and it's like 75%. So that's just crazy, and I had to know what is going on there. And so the story that I went through was I was like on an island, a native to the island, and I had my kids and all the people that were in that tribe or whatever you want to call it, and we were really happy. It was a really easy life. It felt really carefree. There was a scene, dancing around the fire, and it was very much like that, just very amazing tribe, amazing community, and we all helped each other. And like my husband was a hunter, and I just stayed home, and I guess now, I stayed home and took care of the children, and it was just a really good life. And then something happened where we couldn't stay on the island anymore. Like a volcano or something like that, or something catastrophic happened, and I had said volcano, but and so we get in these boats and we go far away and we land, in a deserty place. We're walking across the sand and the sand is blowing, and we're losing people. And I end at the end of my life, I die just like as a skeleton. I'm just skin and bones. My family, had died along the way, and we just didn't make it. And so I came from this very, beautiful place, very loving community, to just nothing and alone, and it wasn't amazing. There was no aliens or anything like super crazy. So, and how that related to my current life is when she was asking questions about this blue house, I was so emotional because I was like, there's just so much love there, it's emotional for me now. There's just so much love there, when I lived in that blue house from about 8 to 13, my mom and got married to a guy, and he had 2 kids, and we had 3 kids, and it was just like so many people in the house. And for a little bit, like, it was just so happy. It wasn't just us, like people would come over all the time. My friends will tell you it's just an amazing house. My eyebrows are always messed up. It was just such an amazing house. It just had really good energy and really bad energy. As far as, it did seem like there was a ghost in there. One of my questions was regarding that. And it was just such an amazing house. And when we lived there, it was just beautiful to me. Everybody has their own perspective about that. I don't know if my siblings can say the same thing as I can about it, but in my experience, from my perspective, it was just such a carefree, easy, beautiful time, playing outside all the time, playing with everybody in the neighborhood. That house was just in such a beautiful location. It was in Eagle River, Alaska. It was right on the bluff, and you could just see Highland, which is a mountain right across the valley, and there was the river and just green. It was just, in Alaska, of course, it's like the Northern Lights. Sometimes you can go out on our massive deck and do it. Anyway, obviously I loved this house. So how that connected was that, I had all that love there. I had in so many different ways. And, it wasn't just the people, it was just like everything about it. And, and then, something happened, and then our family just fell apart. Our parents got divorced and we went our separate ways. And, it's almost like we just lost people along the way. We didn't get to spend time with each other anymore, Anyway, it very much related to that. And in that story, it completely related to all my Blue House questions. And it was just so much what I needed. I didn't realize that I was harboring it in that way. I didn't realize that it had affected me in that way. And that is why you will not see my session on YouTube, because I'm blubbering like the whole time. It was very, very emotional. It was such an emotional realization to me. And but that's how, a story can relate to your current life. And that's how it did for me. It was completely unexpected. And so I highly recommend having a session, not only with Alba Weinman. She's very difficult to get into. I went to her website and did her out of town page thing, and then got in as soon as I saw her email. And so that's how I got in. But there's other ways that you can find a practitioner of all sorts, not just like QHHT, and I'll leave a link for you if you want to find somebody. But I highly recommend it, because sometimes, you come for something, and you think it's like superficial, and it's not. It's just so deep, and I just feel so released. I really felt like just weight coming off of my shoulders from that session. And it wasn't just from that little bit. There was a lot more during the session. There's a lot more tears, a lot more releasing, and it was just very cleansing. So I highly recommend having a session with, anybody. Just when you start saying, do I want to? What would be my purpose? Why would I even want to have a session? I think that you start kind of, I don't know, it's just a journey in itself. It was for me. I just, from booking a session, which was a long time ago, to now, it's just so crazy. So just figure out what your questions are, and they'll start coming to you before you even have a session, but you'll certainly get a lot out of it. You don't even realize what you're harboring. And those can cause physical issues too. I had some stuff where, not that specifically, but I had some stuff where it was causing me physical issues. I just was packing it away and needed to be, and so I think that's it. Of course, you can book a session with me. It's not exactly the same as Alba Weinman. I do a QHHT, and she's a interpersonal hypnotherapist. I'm sure I didn't do that right, but I think that's it. My website is kimberlypenning.com. All right, thanks.